I have been making art my entire life. Since I was a child, I found that this was a really interesting way to initially just spend time. And then I found out that you could actually think about things and put thought into your art making. So it's something that keeps me interested even today. When I was in grade 12 in high school, I had my first introduction to clay, and there was a room in the art room. There was a hidden doorway, and when the guy finally unlocked it, the art teacher, there was a complete clay studio in there. So I'd always been interested in making figurines and things, you know, from my early influences, model making and stuff. So when I found that there was actually a material that you could fashion into virtually anything, I was hooked. I've been doing this for over 50 years. Well, I'm glad you brought that up because no, as a matter of fact, I'm learning things every day. It was just a couple of weeks ago that I realized that by taking steel wool and going over the entire surface of whatever you had made, this was value added. This is something that just occurred to me. So next week, there's no telling what'll pop up. Well, I've done shows like I grew up in railroad towns as well. So coming to Kenora, I think I understand a lot of the sentiment that is here. And the title of this show is called Cautionary Tales in the 21st Century. And really, you know, I'm looking for an audience not only in Kenora, but I'm expressing, I think, a lot of universal ideas on what a cautionary tale might entail. And so, you know, for me to be putting these things together, it's great to be doing it in Kenora. But I think it you know, I've done many of these shows, many different places. This is such a great venue, though. My inspiration is, you know, it's like a full-time job. And I often equate it to the idea of acquiring things that I put in a warehouse. And then every now and again, I shake that warehouse and I'm able to have an idea pop out that is maybe a combination of things that I've been thinking about, things that I've then sketched out, or things that I obviously want to make as a three-dimensional sculpture. So it's nice to be able to have you know, that warehouse of imagination, but also the material and the ability to turn it into something that can be seen as a meaningful piece of art. I have warehouses filled with these things. No, you know, for instance, if I looked over here at the piece called Helado, which is the devil selling ice cream, and not only the absurdity of that idea, and then the curator of the show has put the other ice cream piece, which is Rocky Road Melt and the Hellbound Handcart. So when I did those, I did a series of 3 of each of them. So although I have the piece where the devil's selling ice cream, I also have pieces, 2 of his employees. One is a young boy selling ice cream and the other is a dog. So I think it, you know, seen in its entirety, these sets are, you know, they're slightly different because, of course, they're all handmade. But the sentiment gets stronger with each piece that I make. So I think in many ways, looking at that piece, Helado, to me, it really is the culmination of all of my abilities in all of those years, as is the other one. The sentiment that it expresses, I think, is universal. The idea that we're going to hell in a handcart, or that we're accepting ice cream from the devil. I mean, who buys ice cream from the devil? You know, is it a political statement? Yeah, when you look at these things, I think they transcend just what you're seeing, and you begin to look at the symbolology of it and the zoomorphic qualities where you've got animals personified and things. Then, to me, to put it all together in a room like this really does put together a succinct statement about modern day living and the foibles, pitfalls, hence the cautionary tales. Well, you know, when I go back and look at early pieces, and I've got a couple pieces hanging on my wall that are plywood cutouts of Snoopy and Linus from the Peanuts comic strip. And they're three-dimensional because I've piled up the plywood, and I think one's got a security blanket and stuff. And when I look at those, and then I look at something I built earlier this year, I think there's really no difference. So I'm still, developing a style, and the style is based on, those things were I made in 1966, so that's like 60 years or more. So when I think of like, what am I doing? Why have I been doing this for over half a century now? And the message that I'm conveying is, it's an important one. It's like looking at our society, it's looking at ourselves, it's, trying to get an understanding. So to have come this far and yet not come anywhere at all, the work I did then as a 12-year-old child is no different as I do as a 70-year-old man. Like, nothing's really changed. The thing that's changed, I guess, is the fact that now I can make anything. And that to me was the genesis of what I'm doing. Is I can take a piece of clay and, following methods that unfortunately had to be, tried, and failure, and, and all the things that go along with that, whether it was the thing blowing up in the kiln or nobody wanting to buy it or whatever. So all those hurdles that as an artist you overcome, you end up in a place where, you get comfortable with what you're doing, and your ability has been based on the last piece, based on the piece before that. So, I just, I feel lucky that in my advanced years that I can still, have nimble fingers, that I can still make stuff. And, had somebody told me that the sky was the limit as a child, I might have, had to take a closer look at it. But, the sky was the limit. So, yeah, I'm really happy about the stuff that I make. I think they asked Mick Jagger the same question. And what did Mick say? I think I look better, my pieces look better sitting here than I would with me standing on a stage shaking my blue jeans or something. Eh? So, still doing this after all these years it's surprising, but at the same time, I mean, what a gift to be able to, still put it together in that. And when I think, yeah, I'm a lucky boy. Yeah, you know what? If I look around, I mean, this piece behind me, the fact that I freckled the boy's face and made it very much autobiographical, I think adds to the either the depth of the deceit, or at least to the the tale of heroes in a boat or something. So that's a good one. But if I look historically around the room here, I have a piece going back to, I think, 2014, and it was a cautionary tale. It's called The Painted Bird, and it was based on a childhood recount by Jerzy Kaczynski of war-torn Europe and the perils of a young boy wandering alone through war-torn Europe. And when I think of, capturing sentiments within a piece, that one for me is really strong. It really, it evokes a lot of, things that I'm sure if I thought about it, I could start weeping because, again, it's the injustice, the unfairness of the world, the bullying, the, all these horrible things that do go on. But my job is to have people look at those things and understand them a little better by seeing it in a humorous light or something, so that they, maybe they question themselves as well. So, it's a job, but, a lot of my pieces, are just about joy, about, looking at something going, oh, is that ever cool, Well, I hope that they take away one of the pieces, because these are available for sale. But I hope that they leave with an idea that they've been included on something, whereas all the ideas that are being expressed here are something that they can identify with, whether it's something as simple as a snake and a ladder and the ups and downs of life, or if it's you know, something that just strikes them as being funny, a situation they've been in. Hopefully when they, you know, revisit these pieces, they can it unfolds before them and becomes a bigger message than just looking at the piece. But behind that message is still the piece. So I hope they have a, you know, the kind of encounter that was a sort of a surprise to them. They thought, oh my God, look at this. Isn't that interesting? And that it's enhanced their lives. But, you know, it's important work I'm doing here. No, you know what? I think Sophie gave me a call and you know, told me about the fabulous Douglas family gallery here. And I thought, why wouldn't I want to do something like that? And it's been, you know, I mean, this is really the showcase of town here. So I was honored to be asked and happy to have put together the work for it, you know, and put a theme to it and all those important art things. This show will be up for the public to see until the 21st of July, which is, you know, the heat of summer, eh? So what better time to look at art? And, you know, I look around and I think, well, there's probably pieces that people can identify with as, you know, a specific summer feel or something. But come fall, they'll be as enjoyable in their home as they will have had hanging on the wall here. So